Hi, and welcome to the 2.0 conference here in Las Vegas. This is Danny, your host, and we have our lovely guest I'd like to introduce today. Introduce yourself to everyone and your organization.
Hi, I'm Virginia Rhodes. I work for Renegade Learning. That's my company. And we work on school culture.
Welcome School Culture. Beautiful. And what does your organization stand for? What do you guys focus on?
It's called Renegade Learning because that is the kind of learning that happens all the time, informally and formally, but primarily informally as people move through their lives. And we advocate that students in school arrive in an environment that's built for discovery and so that they can engage and learn their own talents and their own development moves forward.
Okay.
It is sometimes unpredictable. It can happen in random moments, but those have to also be designed by dedicated teachers who are into activity and not just rote learning. Learning has to be active in order to work.
Absolutely, yes. And do you focus on high school, middle school, elementary? What's your age range?
Primarily secondary, junior high, and high school.
Okay,
Yes.
wonderful. Okay. And do you have one location or is it multi-locations?
We work across the country. We engage with school districts, foundations, state agencies, nonprofit organizations, any type of youth-serving organization. The concept of renegade learning can be built into these institutions.
Oh, wow, okay.
To the benefit of kids and their families.
Yes. And what would you say has been one of your biggest challenges while you're facilitating these in different schools and organizations?
Probably the biggest challenge to producing renegade learning is the intransigence of many of the standard public education powers that be, the institutions of districts. I was on a school board. I've been in those roles of leading, and it is a bureaucratic system. It's built on a factory model from the 1940s. It's completely inappropriate for modern life and future of our
things
kids.
Have changed so much.
Sure, and so this is the reason that being a renegade is a positive thing. If you're willing to go against that grain, if you can ally yourself with parents and teachers and other educators and even policymakers who want to have organic learning that's powerful for kids, it has to be designed.
Yes, intentional.
Yes.
Intentional, wonderful. And you were honored today with the Visionary Award. What are your thoughts and feelings on receiving that recognition in your industry?
I didn't know that would be the honor, and I'm really appreciative of that recognition.
Oh, wonderful.
I worked for 35 years in the public schools, and I currently serve as an expert witness in the courts for school-related cases. When things go wrong, I get to help the judge and the jury figure out why that went wrong in the school. And much of it is based on old structures that are not built to support students and teachers.
Yes, yes. They're not advocating for the right people. If someone were to follow in your footsteps, what do you recommend the path that they take and how they can achieve that?
I think people who are interested in producing renegade learning, an exciting kind of forward motion for students and teachers.
Yes.
Have to explore those examples that are out there. And one of them was when we flipped an inner city high school, high poverty high school, into a STEM school by putting the teachers in charge of the school. They came and hired me as the principal. They had designed this idea among a group of teachers with no authority to do so. And
Renegade.
And they were willing to go through the fight that it took with the district.
Yes.
And eventually won a large grant from the National Science Foundation.
Wow.
Just by being bold on behalf of their students.
That's a very big impact.
It was considered a teacher-led school. There are about 400 teacher-led schools in the country, in the United States, where the teachers have reclaimed the autonomy that they've lost over the years in the bureaucracy. And so these are powerful tools to develop so that teachers who are passionate and who know what their students need and can engage those students in bringing forth the students' perception of what they need.
Yes, helping them, challenge them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that it's
Wow.
challenging. It feels like a place a kid wants to be. We have huge problems in school attendance right now since COVID, and we have to
Yeah.
restore schools to a place that does not feel like a prison. A lot of high school kids will tell you a school feels like a prison, and we understand that the students themselves have no autonomy, little say in what they're studying,
Yes.
and that lack of creativity in the standard classroom. But many teachers are willing to jump in and do radical changes in order to make that classroom interesting to kids and feel like when they walk in that door, they are accepted. They're not being judged. They are being probed to see what their interests are, and they are being welcomed, and they're having ways to connect with their peers officially.
Yes.
So it doesn't all have to happen in the hallway in the lunchroom, and that their humanity is not a separate thing than their daily learning.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
And this idea of school culture
Yes.
and the development of school culture comes about because we have many negative elements in our broader culture and sometimes in our neighborhood culture, and within our families. And so
Fighting a current. Yeah.
by designing the culture, if you don't design the culture to satisfy certain goals that you have, humanity-oriented goals, then the culture will emerge as a combination of the negative culture that forms the context in which that school exists. And so it's sink or swim. You must design the culture and make it a positive one, make it feel good to the teachers, let them have their autonomy, let kids experience some
grow.
autonomy and growth. And that's how you avoid everybody falling to the lowest elements of our broader culture.
I agree. I agree. Yes. And how does school culture and what kind of school culture do you want to facilitate and build within your organization?
An active one.
An active one.
Yes, not a passive role where there's one teacher in front of the class and everybody is copying notes or supposedly
Yes.
listening every minute and focusing. But students in groups who are producing projects together and
Collaboration.
doing original work,
Yeah.
learning to collaborate. This is also what the workforce is going to be like as they arrive into the workforce.
Yes.
And so it's good education to have and good practice.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. And how has your networking been during the conference so far? I know it's the last day and you had a panel. What's your experience?
It's terrific. This is such an international, diverse group in this room. Everyone is engaged in conversations with one another. People walk up to each other and just introduce out of the blue. There's a warm feeling of exploration among the participants.
Yes.
And,
Across
I love
the
that
industries.
atmosphere. Yes.
Yeah. Everyone has something to contribute and talk
Yes,
about.
and so you meet a new person and you go, oh, I wonder what they're into. I mean,
Yes.
what can I hear from this person?
It's invigorating,
Yes.
definitely. Yeah. And how can people reach you? How do they get in touch with you?
I'm at Renegade Learning under Dr. Virginia Rhodes on LinkedIn, and we're happy to hear from anybody who's interested in sharing experiences, proposing joint ventures,
Yes, beautiful.
or whatever inspiration may come forth.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Doctor.
All right.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Yes.
Nice
Have a
to be
great,
here.
Yes. Enjoy the rest of your conference.
Okay.
Yes.